Good morning, everybody. It's time for Morning Manna. And this morning, I'm still in this whole flow of family. This week, I've designated as Family Week. It's the week of family. It is absolutely the week of family. And I want to just deal with this whole piece about family. Now, yesterday, we talked about family as well. And this morning, we're talking about the frailty of family, the frailty of family. Yesterday it was family first. This morning it's the frailty of family. Now, many will gather. I'm sure your family is traveling, either you're going or someone is coming, or perhaps you all are just settled right where you are. At the end of the day, though, you have to realize this one thing about family. And that's what we're going to talk about on this morning, the frailty of family. The frailty of family. But before we get into that, we're going to greet some people and then press right into the word on this morning. Have some technical problems on this morning. I don't know. You know what? Technology is great when it works, but when it doesn't, you got to wait on it. What about that? Good morning, Vicky. How about you? Pamela, how about you? Vaughn, how about you? Lydia, how about you? Gloria, how about you? Laura, how are you this morning? Lisa, how are you doing on this morning? Francine, how you doing on this morning? How's everybody doing on this morning? It's a great morning that it is already. Angelica, Elder Mobley, how are you on this morning? Brother Joro, how are you? Linda, how are you doing on this morning? Denise, how are you on this morning? Angela, how are you guys doing on this morning? This morning is all about the frailty of family. The frailty of family. Good morning, Elder Jan. How are you on this morning? Keisha, how are you doing on this morning? Brenda, how are you on this morning? Verena, how are you? Gloria, how are you on this morning? Look, this morning, the frailty of family. In a couple days, if family hasn't already gathered or on their way, or you about to travel here or there, on Thursday, families will gather and we will assemble ourselves around the table. In fact, in a couple of minutes, I'm going to be doing a interview on KMOX radio talking about family and how do you avoid things going wrong because of the political state that we're in, because some people going to be on one side, others on the other side. Well, anyhow, I got an interview in a couple of minutes with that, but what I'm talking about with you this morning is the frailty of family. You realize how frail a family can be? Well, I'm going to give you the text to talk to take away. And I hope that as a result of us talking about it, you'll grab a hold of the frailty of family. Here's the text, Genesis 3:6. Genesis 3:6. Here's the context of the text. Moses, who has been on the backside of the Mount of Zion, and he has been shepherding the sheep. And guess what happens? God shows up with a burning bush, calls Moses over. Hey, let's have conversation. God identifies himself. Notice how God identifies himself in Genesis 3:6. And he said, God talking, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Jacob. What are you saying here, Bishop? What I'm saying is this. I'm saying that God identifies God's self with family. Moses, you want to know who I am? Look at the families that are connected to me. You want to know who I am? Then know that I identify myself through the families that I am with. I am a God of family. Yesterday I said that it's family first and that he established family. It's a foundation and you can't fool with that. This morning, the frailty of family. And I want to look at three families that are quite frail. The first family is Abraham and Sarah. They're quite frail, both in age and in faith. Though Abraham is the person whom we say in Genesis 12, the father of faith, he doesn't operate that way in all times. Because when God calls him at 75, that, hey, this is what I'm about to do in your life, Sarah laughed about the whole thing. called in Hagar, and all things just went awry. Okay, they had a frail family. But it didn't stop there because the second family I want you to look at is found in Genesis 15 and following Isaac and Rebekah. You remember, Isaac is the promised child. Now he is a father himself. He has his own family, he and Rebekah. But Esau and Jacob are the twins and they can't get it together. You already know. Rebekah pulls Jacob to one side and Isaac pulls Esau to another side. Their family is frail. But it doesn't stop there. Doesn't stop there because when Jacob has his kids, and who is really now Israel and the 12 tribes, guess what happens with this? That whole thing goes on because now Joseph comes up and it creates jealousy within the family. We sell him, you're out of here. Frail families, frail families. Here's another family found in Numbers 12 and following, the family of Moses and Miriam. Guess what the deal is? They're jealous of this Cushite woman. Who is she? Zipporah, that black woman over there. Cush, yeah, that's right. Who is this? We want some power too. Well, how about a sprinkling of some leprosy until you get yourself together? Families are frail. Families are frail. But don't feel bad about your family because you may be looking at your family right now and acknowledging the frailty of it, the family of God. God family was frail as well. What do we find when we look into heaven itself? A third of the angels says, we're out of here. We don't like how things are going on. And there you have Lucifer, the one with the false light, in the presence of God, saying, I will rise up. Even God's family is frail. So, Bishop, what do we do with that coming into this Thanksgiving when we'll gather around the table? Acknowledge our family is frail, and here's your takeaway: handle it with care. Handle your family with care. The Lord be with you today, and may his face shine upon you and give you peace as we walk through this week, because this week we declared is the week of family. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna.